board here. Hello, everybody. This is Ellen. I'm running the Buffalo Theater Workshop this month for April. We are reading Zoe Kiriazis' Sincerely. So it's her first play, well, not the first play she's ever written, but the first full-length play that she has written. And it's pretty personal. So why don't you talk about that a little bit, if you'd like to?
Okay.
Only if you want to. If you don't, you can say, screw it, and we'll read it.
Screw you, I'll just read it. Okay, so I gained inspiration from 3 points. I've been thinking about this all day. Oh my gosh, she's gonna ask me this question. So my friend Maddie, who's also on the GBP board, who found it and is on Buffalo Theater Workshop, she wrote a play a few years ago about a certain experience that she had. And I'm like, I should do that too. And then my second inspiration was 13 Reasons Why, because I watched the whole series. Specifically, I rewatched the first season 3 times because I had so many problems with it, and it wasn't truthful, in my opinion, to the reality of bullying and the words that people have on, like how people's words affect others. And the third is it's fictional as far as the state of everything that's happening, but as far as everything that is happening in the story, like who she's talking to and the I guess incidents that occur are very true. I suffered from severe bullying when I was a teenager. And all of these things have happened. I've had to tweak it as far as like how it happened, because I was a youngin in the late 2000s. So it doesn't really fit to the 2021 as far as like MySpace and all of that and other forms of social media. So and I wanted to write a story, not only to talk about all of my things that I've been through, but I've also wanted to, I pulled a Lin-Manuel Miranda and I wrote something that, you know, a character that looks like me and has this arc of that you just don't see in mainstream media. I wanted someone who looked like me and is vulnerable and powerful, and that's why I wrote hopeless but hopeful. So yeah, it's very personal. I'm putting a lot out there, but I love this story and I love these characters, and me and Ellen have worked tirelessly on editing this.
You have. I just helped you edit it. I didn't do shit.
You edited it.
Okay.
Yeah, Ellen's been great in all this.
Sorry, stuff. We have younger people that I shouldn't swear in front of.
Yes, but there's a lot of swearing in this, and I'm apologize. So yeah.
Now, are we waiting for anybody? Let me do like a quick little roll call here. Do we have our Holly?
Here.
Josh? Might be David Wysocki, I think. Kale?
Here.
Becca?
Here.
Brad? Chet?
Here.
Nice. Brittany?
Here.
Awesome. Mandy with 2 E. Mark? And we need Mark, right? It's here. The boy.
Sorry, I'm here. I was on mute.
Oh yeah, I muted you because sorry.
No, I muted myself.
Okay. So let's just kind of hang out a little bit. We talked about Zoe's, like where she came from a little bit with the story. And then for those who haven't done this before, I kind of said a little bit earlier, we read through the script, and then at the end, we kind of give our thoughts, some constructive criticism, what we liked, what we think could be improved. Even things that, like, if you have an idea like halfway through and you're like, whoa, this would help like this idea come out even more, please share that. Something that we did this reading a few months ago, I think, yeah, Matt was there. Carnival of Souls, which was and Matt was there too. It's such a neat idea, and Malin was there too. Oh my gosh, you guys are great. Something that was really cool about that is that like he had been developing this, the writer, oh my god, now Jeremy Vicario, he took a public domain piece and made it like made it his own and decided to like really do a stage version of an old movie that had come out. Like, I think it was late 60s. But yeah, it was like, I remember seeing it at the, huh?
It was like 63. It was a horror film.
So early 60s, so horror. And I remember seeing it at the beginning and I was like, ooh, this is a little rough. And then he finally wrote like the full thing out. And by the time we read it for this, it was just so cool. So, and then he's still working on it. So, okay, I think we might have everybody. Do we have a Brad? Oh, Brad. Mark
Okay.
and Josh.
Oh,
David, you're Josh, right? Wait, who's Josh?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I'm Josh.
Okay, so yeah, the only thing, yeah, David, can you just change your character name just because everyone else has?
Absolutely.
And I think that's it. Does anybody want to, so we have 2 listeners. Thank you so much for listening. Do either of you want to do stage directions? Because if you do, you can. If you don't, that's fine. I'll just do it myself, but I'll warn you, I'm bad at it. Okay.
You want me
All right, so I'll go through. Alrighty. So here we are. The setting. Oh, let's just say the name of it. Okay. So this is Sincerely, written by Zoe Kiriazis. Setting May 2019, Highland Park, Connecticut, USA. This is taking place during the past, but also during the present. Prologue. Schoolyard, Highland Park High School. Time after school, 3:30 p.m., March 2019. Holly stands off center stage, leaning up against a wooden bar. Students pass her left and right, barely noticing her, or so she thinks. We see groups of students huddled in with each other on their phones, listening to music, gossiping. Holly has one headphone in, sunglasses on. She's impatiently waiting. Josh, Kale, Chet, and someone who is not named Nick enter, making their way past Holly. Holly is paying no attention.
What if I told you about looking at me?
What?
Josh grabs Holly's sunglasses off her face. Holly begins to fight for her glasses.
Give those back, Josh. Come on, this isn't funny.
What are you going to do? Huh? Sit on me?
Just give me my sunglasses back.
Hey, Holly, you didn't seem to eat much at lunch today. Is that why you're so bitchy?
Give me back my sunglasses.
Holly pushes Josh to the ground, the sunglasses coming out of his hands. Everyone around stops and looks. Holly is taken back, but there's a sort of rage in her eyes. She's held this back for a long time.
Fuck. She's really gonna sit on me.
Holly grabs her sunglasses off the ground with the sound of whale noises as she bends down. It gets to her.
Holly, please come with me. Are you serious? Please come this way. They started it. Please, Holly, let's go.
Oh, shit.
So sorry. Maybe you should think twice next time you look at me.
Holly and Josh share a look. They're both furious with each other.
Holly, I'm not going to ask you again. Come with me. No. Excuse me? No, I'm not going with you. This isn't my fault. Holly, calm down. Calm down? Seriously? After all the shit everyone's done, I'm the one who needs to calm down?
If you weren't such a fat bitch.
Shut the fuck up, Josh. Language, Holly. Come with me now or I'm going to call your mother and father. Bold assumption to think I have a mom and a dad.
I was right after all.
I can't take this anymore. I'm out of here. Holly, come back here right now. I'm not going to ask you again. No, this is your fault. All of you. All of who? Everyone at this absolute joke of a school. None of you did a damn thing to help me. You ignored me, blamed me for years, and now you want me to stay? Fuck this, I'm gone.
Holly looks around for a split second toward everyone and makes her way to leave. She ignores the hands trying to pull her back. She ignores the teacher hauling back for her. She doesn't look back and exits. Everyone on stage stares, gossips to another, or is looking at their phone. Lights fade out. Oof, okay, so we're in it now, guys. Act 1, Scene 1, Josh's bedroom. A month or so later, Josh enters through the center aisle with his best friends, Chet. Who's Nick supposed to be? Is that the change name? I just want to make sure I'm saying the right thing.
No, that's the right name.
Right name? Okay. Chet, Nick, and Cal. They're throwing a football back and forth. There's a bed upright, a messy desk with school papers and books falling off the desk. Holly's box sits on Josh's desk chair. There's a sticky note on top.
So I told Ellen her ass looks great, in the jeans that she's wearing. I mean, but the bitch, she just called me a pig and like walked away. I mean, like, come on. I mean, I told her she looked good. But like, what's wrong with that?
Dude, nothing. Girls just can't take a joke or a fucking compliment. They're too sensitive about everything.
This is Ellen again, but
You want me to do Nick?
yeah. Nick,
Do you want me to do that, Ellen?
I think so.
Okay. Ashley just really needs to calm down. And really, Ashley, she doesn't have any ass at all.
I don't know, man. Girls are weird when it comes to that shit. It's like they want to be complimented by guys, but don't like it when we give them compliments. It's just confusing.
Cal jumps on
Wait.
the bed, opens his book bag, and grabs a bag of rolling papers. Wow, I can't read. And some loose weed. How else would it be, Zoe? Never mind. Chet and Nick sit on the floor, continuing to throw the football in the air.
Wait, Josh, what would Becca say about you talking about another girl's ass?
If she had a better ass, I wouldn't have to say anything to anyone.
Hey, Josh, what's in this box?
Chet picks up the box off of Josh's chair. Chet throws the box to Nick.
How am I supposed to know?
Nick and Josh cross to Chet. Cal continues to sit on the bed.
There's a note from your mom left for you on the porch this afternoon.
Well, are you going to open it?
Josh grabs the box and sits down on the chair. He opens it to grab the first letter on top. Josh places the box on the ground while examining the letter. He's clearly confused.
Ooh, man, you got like a secret admirer or something?
Fuck if I know. I mean, and all it says on the front is a letter to Josh.
What the hell? Open it.
Josh opens the letter, ripping through the envelope carefully. He drops the ripped open envelope on the ground, opening the letter. Chet and Nick surround Josh. Cal sits on the bed, texting, slightly paying attention. Holly appears upstage left, adjacent from Josh's bed.
Dear Josh, if you're reading this, you must have received my box. You're probably wondering why you have this, too. Well, to be honest, I don't know why either.
All I know is that I need you to read all the letters, one by one, every word on the page. You can be alone or with a friend. You can read them all at once or stagger them. But the longer you wait, the longer I'll be gone. These won't be easy to read. You might not want to believe anything you read in these letters, but they're true. They all happened to me.
I hope you'll learn something from them. The world isn't as perfect as the one you live in. It's not nice to girls like me.
If you've read this far, you're probably wondering who I am. I can't tell you just yet. I promise I will, though. All the letters are in the order you're supposed to read them. Sincerely.
Josh closes the letter. He doesn't know what to make of the letter. Cal takes a hit from his joint. Chet and Nick start bursting out with laughter.
Oh my God, what a loser.
Some chick really wants you to read letters she wrote? Bro, ignore it. This is just some cry for attention.
Want to hit?
Wait, what did you say?
Do you want to hit?
No, thanks. I think you all need to leave now.
He stands up, putting the letter back, putting the letter he read back into its envelope and back in the box.
We just got here. We were all going to get baked before going to Tyler's party tonight.
Yeah, I know. I just don't feel like going out anymore, okay? Maybe I'll catch up with you later.
Fine. Promise me you won't read those letters. Don't waste your time. They're probably nothing.
Sure.
I'll see you later, man.
Second shot exit first. Cal lingers.
You going to be okay, man?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Josh and Cal exchange a fist bump. Cal exits center stage. Josh watches Cal leave before grabbing the box of letters. He grabs the letter he just read. There's more.
Yes.
Yes.
What if you have
can't
the chance to tell people who hurt you the most how you really feel? Would you have
Would you
to?
have to?
Would you want
You
to?
want to?
Holly exits. Josh folds the letter again and puts it back in the envelope and places the letter next to the box. Josh grabs the box, crossing toward its bed. He sits down while grabbing the next letter. He takes a deep breath.
I got nothing to lose. How true could these letters be?
Josh stares at the front of the new envelope. It's yellow.
A letter to Becca.
Opens the envelope. He shifts his body to the center of his bed, begins reading the letter and stops.
Oh, shit.
Josh is fixated on the letter. Lights dim. Act 1, Scene 2, Josh's bedroom hallway. Josh is sitting up in his bed. He's holding Becca's letter. Josh looks up, puzzled.
Dear Becca, remember that time when we were kids and we'd always share the same fruit juice pack at lunch? I thought in those moments we'd be friends forever. I mean, we'd be one of those stories that we tell as adults that we've been friends since childhood.
Becca and Holly enter together, upstage left, arms linked together.
You've been friends since you were 5?
Yes.
We did everything together as kids.
We'd exchange our lunch snacks.
We would go school clothes shopping every August.
We'd wear matching shirts every Friday without fail.
We couldn't even go to the bathroom unless we went together.
Everything changes though, right? I mean, people change. Our minds start to form their own opinions about the world, our interests. I mean, what do we think about other people?
Becca lets go of Holly's arm, turning around to walk upstage slowly. Holly takes small steps forward downstage.
We grew apart when we got to middle school, but high school is when I saw you take the Queen Bee title. I guess that's okay.
But then you got mean.
Becca is standing stage right. Her stance is powerful. An elevated Regina George. Ensemble members roam the stage as she speaks.
What are you looking at, punk? Turn your eyes to the threes in the corner. Excuse you? Do you mind eating somewhere else? Because your presence is needed at the Dairy Queen down the road. They need a tub of ice cream eaten by 5 o'clock. Could you stop breathing so loudly? It's so obnoxious, I literally can't hear myself think. Are you sure I can't get a higher grade on this test? My father accepts nothing less than an A from his smartest girl.
Josh is sitting on the edge of his bed. His eyes don't leave the page.
I never thought you'd grow up to be like that, but I saw it firsthand. You wore the same outfit one day. I remember so clearly. School hadn't even started that day. I was just finishing up at my locker, grabbing the books that I needed from first 4 classes of the day.
Holly enters upstage left. She's wearing a backpack on her shoulders with a textbook in her right hand. Her shirt has changed. BECCA is walking downstage on her phone, not paying attention. Holly walks downstage. They bump into each other.
Excuse.
You really need to watch where you're going.
BECCA and Holly share a stare.
Sorry, Becca. I'll be careful next.
What are you wearing?
Holly looks down at her shirt, smiling, not realizing they're wearing the same shirt. She's just thrilled that BECCA noticed her outfit.
Oh, I got this shirt from a boutique down in the village. I thought it was really cute, and my mom gave me extra money this week, so I bought it. Do you like it?
Holly's face drops when she realizes they are wearing the same shirt. Fear overwhelms Holly. BECCA is furious. Josh looks up. He's envisioning the interaction.
The same shirt. We were wearing the same shirt. When we were friends, we literally planned out what shirt we were going to wear on Fridays. But now.
Take the shirt off.
No, I like it.
You need to take the shirt off.
What's the big deal, Becca? It's a shirt.
I was trying to be nice, but I guess you're too stupid to pick up on that. So that not so subtle fact that in no way, shape, or form does that shirt fit under your unproportioned, out of control body. So I'll say it like this. Take the damn shirt off before I do it myself.
What's the big deal?
No one wears the same outfit as me. I thought a loser like you would know better.
We have no classes together. Our paths never cross during the day. No one would notice that two people are wearing the same shirt. I mean, who cares?
I know this, and I care.
Seriously, Becca, who are you anymore?
BECCA throws Holly's textbooks to the ground and rips the sleeves off the shirt, throwing them to the ground, stomping on them repeatedly. Holly is stunned, frozen. Josh's face drops back to the letter. BECCA gives Holly the sleeves.
Here. Maybe the nice things in life should be left to those worthy of them.
BECCA exits upstage left, shoving Holly as she passes. Holly turns toward the audience.
That's all you said. You left me in the hallway alone, holding the sleeves of my brand new shirt. When I got up that morning, I was so excited to wear it, and now it was just ruined. I looked terrible, and so you were satisfied. You walked away like nothing happened, and I was devastated.
I walked out of school and ran home, ripped the shirt off and threw it away, and then I cried.
Josh gets up off the bed.
I believe you're still a good person inside, because you, Becca, are putting on a show to hide something bigger. The only way you're able to rid your frustration and hurt is to take it out on people who you claim don't mean anything to you. You used to stand up to the bullies in school when we were friends. What happened?
Holly exits stage right.
Now you're the bully. I don't get it. I may never get it, but I hope you outgrow this phase. I remember the BECCA who traded their fruit snacks for my hostess cake. I remember you teaching me that kindness is prettier than hate. I miss her. I miss you. I hope that BECCA comes back.
Sincerely.
Josh closes the letter and places the second letter in its yellow envelope. He grabs his cell phone out of the backpack. He dials a number. BECCA enters center aisle. She's wearing a silk robe and wearing red lipstick.
Hey, baby. You still coming to Tyler's party later?
I don't think so, Bex.
Come on. It'll be so fun tonight. We can dance a bit, drink a lot, smoke some weed. Maybe if you're lucky.
BECCA, stop.
What is your problem?
Nothing. Look, I can't go to the parties tonight. I have family shit going on.
Oh. Do you need anything?
Are you actually offering help?
Truthfully, I was just being nice.
Typical.
What did you say?
Nothing. I'll talk to you later.
I love you.
Josh hangs up the phone. He never hangs up the phone without saying, I love you. He goes back to the box with the letters. Josh places Becca's letter behind his first letter. He grabs the next one. It's in blue this time.
Letter to Brad. Does she mean Brad Ways?
Josh opens up the letter and sits on the floor of his room. Act 1, Scene 3, Josh's porch, hallway. Josh is sitting outside in an Adirondack chair with a wooden side table. Box of letters sits on the table. He's holding the letter, a slight tremble.
Dear Brad, I've known you since you were in elementary school. You were always in trouble. It didn't matter what you did. Someone was always scolding you for something or calling you down to the office.
Brad enters stage right, ratty clothes, a thrift shop. He crosses the stage all while voices backstage speak. He's trying to block them out.
You won't be anything if you don't apply yourself. Late again, down to the principal's office. That's the third time it's caught you with your phone. Step outside for the remainder of class. Do you want to fail fourth grade math? If you don't care by now, then what's the point of doing it? Quit the back talking. It gets you nowhere. You should know that by now.
Holly enters stage left, running into Brad, stopping him in his tracks. They stare right at each other.
Part of me felt bad for you. Part of me sympathized with you, since I always saw us in a similar light. I always tried to help you.
Holly offers a hand out. Brad turns back towards stage right.
We only had a few friends.
Some people didn't like us.
We were known for all the wrong reasons.
It wasn't until you decided to feed into your insecurities to make fun of me. It took for so long. Why? Because I didn't know how to stick up for myself? Part of me still doesn't, I guess.
Holly exits back, stage left. Mark enters stage right and joins Brad. They're talking.
When you're knocked down to the ground so many times, sometimes staying down is just easier.
Brad and Mark stand against the wall closest to stage right.
Dude, if she just lost some weight, she'd be like 4.
No diet in the world can make her even a 1.
Did you see that skirt she wore today? Her fat ass exposed? No one needs to see that.
Do you think we're being too mean?
Fuck no.
Josh stands up, having a vision of the encounter. He continues to read the letter. Holly enters stage left again with her backpack and a textbook. She's wearing a jean skirt. She stops towards center stage and sees Brad and Mark.
I remember freshman year. We had all the same classes except one.
I loathed it. I loved you.
Just looking at you made me want to curl up in a ball and hide.
You certainly weren't one of the cool guys, but you'd stand against the lockers looking like you owned the place.
And every time I'd pass you to go into the classroom, you would without fail say,
Lesbian.
Brad and Mark laugh, sly and obnoxiously. Holly stops at the entrance.
Did you say something?
Nope.
Holly looks out toward the audience.
I don't get why this is funny. What joke were you trying to make?
Holly heads back toward the entrance of the classroom.
Lesbian.
What is so funny?
I don't know.
It must be funny because you won't. Just stop, okay?
All right, I'll stop.
Thank you.
just as I'm walking away.
Like,
Any thoughts I had inside just came out.
What is your problem, Brad? Do you feel better about yourself by putting others down? Does it feel the loneliness you feel? Does it make your day being a complete asshole to others? Besides, what did I ever do to you to deserve this? You know, I've always felt bad for you.
All you said was,
If you didn't do gay things and weren't so ugly, I wouldn't say anything.
Exit stage right. Holly breaks off towards center.
I walked away defeated. I told a teacher what happened. We sat down together to talk. The talk was just them telling me to stop instigating you and for you to leave me alone. In the end, I got a half-ass apology that I knew meant nothing.
Holly crossed to stage left. Brad enters from stage left.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, Holly.
Brad is frozen. Holly shifts her focus towards him. Josh counters Holly as she moves.
Your comments never stopped. I just learned to stop reacting, which did nothing but give you the satisfaction you craved. I don't know why it was me, or why using derogatory slurs made you feel better about yourself.
maybe you hate gay people. Maybe you thought you were gay yourself. I don't know, and I'll never know.
But I still see that boy from elementary school who just needed a break. Maybe a chance, maybe some encouragement instead of negativity. If the school took a moment to realize you might have needed help, we wouldn't have had those interactions.
Brad exits past Holly to stage left. Josh looks back upstage.
Maybe you should have been a different person.
Maybe I wouldn't be writing this letter. I hope you're able to see how hurtful your comments were. And I hope to God you don't use those slurs anymore. Sincerely.
Josh closes the letter, sitting in his chair. He's trying to hold it together. He's becoming nervous. Josh places the letter back in its envelope, then into the box. He hears a holler. It's Brad and Mark. They enter center stage aisle.
What's up, Josh? You coming to the party tonight? Tyler was able to get like 6 huge ass kegs from his brother.
I think I'm gonna pass on that night.
What's in that box?
Mark reaches for the box, but Josh grabs it just in time. He's protective, but even he surprises himself by his reaction.
Nothing. Just cool project.
What project?
You write anything down?
No?
If you don't care by now, then what's the point of doing it?
Who put the stick up your ass?
Brad and Mark head back to the exit.
Brad, do you hate gay people?
Brad's expression changes. Angry. Offended. He walks back to Josh.
What?
Do you hate gay people?
No! What are you talking about?
I always hear you yelling slurs and hate towards gay people. I just want to know if you hate them.
A man can't love another man. That's just fucking weird.
Do you feel the same way about 2 women?
Hell no, that's hot.
Wow,
What?
you're a piece of shit.
Take that back!
Or what?
Josh and Brad stand face to face. Brad is quivering. Josh isn't standing down to him.
Let's go. He's not worth it.
Brad shoves Josh's shoulder before he leaves. Brad and Mark exit center stage aisle.
What a piece of shit.
Josh sits down and tries to gather himself. He picks up the box and sets it on the table. He opens the box and grabs the next letter. His hand is shaking.
Brittany Hicks. Oh, Jesus. What did she do this time?
Josh opens the pink envelope to the letter. Act 1, Scene 4, the street. Josh enters center stage aisle with his backpack and a letter in hand.
Dear Brittany, where do I begin? Everyone in this town knows everyone and everything. I remember growing up, you never really liked me. A common agreement from everyone in school.
Josh sits on a park bench upstage right.
Even those who didn't even know me, they already didn't like me without ever knowing who I was. But in middle school, you really got something here, and it hasn't stopped since.
Holly enters stage left and she positions herself against the wall.
It's like you always questioned everything I did when nothing I did pertained to you. I would always think, why do you care? Kind of like Regina George. Why are you so obsessed with me?
But you were known as the bitch. Ain't that the truth?
I wasn't the prettiest of girls growing up. I wasn't the skinniest. I didn't have a fashion sense. I had horrible acne. I was a loner because no one wanted to take a chance on the so-called weird
Weird
girl.
girl. You fed on all those insecurities. It felt like you knew what to say to hurt me.
Brittany enters stage right. She has a purse over her shoulder.
If people don't like me, that's their problem, not mine. I was always taught never to take shit from anyone. If I have to break a few weak links, then that's what I gotta do. Nothing wrong with that.
Brittany pulls out a compact makeup mirror. She retouches her makeup. It's overdone.
I remember this one time, my acne and anxiety were like at an all-time high during our sophomore year. I was always anxious and my chest just like tight to its core. And the stress of seeing people who didn't want to see me daily, my acne would just bloom.
Picking on my acne fueled some kind of sick attack in you.
I was walking out of school one day. I had to stay late to finish up an assignment.
Holly crosses down stage at a bag and Nova turns around quickly at the sight of Brittany.
You were standing outside. I tried to turn the other way, but
Holly!
I knew if I ignored you, you'd find a way to tell me one way or another. Why even try fighting anymore?
Hey girl, so what are those two red things on your temple?
Holly brushes her hair forward, trying to hide her scabs.
I remember I tried to pop a huge pimple and went at it too hard. Just another way my anxiety was coming through, I guess.
I don't know, a scab, I guess.
Why do you have so many scars on your face?
I just I don't know.
Do you not care about your skin? You know it's not gonna look good when you're older.
Okay.
If you want to get rid of your pizza face, you should really try using Proactive. I heard it works for people like you.
Holly's face drops. Josh is in disbelief.
I was speechless. All I could say to you is, sure, I'll give it a try.
Brittany walks away with a smile on her face. She grabs her phone and makes a call. Josh closes the letter and throws it to the ground. He doesn't know how to feel. He takes a moment before reaching for the letter again. Holly takes a few steps back. Her and Josh are parallel.
I walked away humiliated. I could feel your eyes and smirk as I went in the other direction. The one I should have taken to begin with. And for your information, Proactive doesn't work.
You always wanted to be popular for as long as I've known you. But instead, you became a mean girl. You were known by many, you were liked by few, but never hated. You weren't everyone's favorite person, Brittany, but at least you weren't me.
I always wanted to know what made you so hateful.
Maybe you had to be strong. tough and mean to take it out alive.
Only the tough ones make it out alive.
I think if we got to know each other, we would have been friends, or at least mutual acquaintances. We might have more in common than we both think. I mean, I guess we'll never find out. I've learned that some people are always going to be mean, and I don't think you're one of those people.
Sincerely.
Josh closes the letter again. He grabs the box out of his backpack. Josh puts the letter back in the envelope. He sits there with the box in hand, thinking. Josh looks down at the box again, as if he's going to take another letter out and keep going. It's dim. Act 1, Scene 5, convenience store exterior, library. Josh is sitting on the edge of the stage with a bottle of soda, a half-eaten sandwich, and a package of Twinkies. He opens the next letter after.
A letter to Chet. Got to be Crane.
Josh opens the pack of Twinkies while he begins reading the letter. Holly enters center stage.
Dear Chet, every man, boy I've ever met never knows what to do when a woman is not a size 2. That's just unfortunate and fucked up fact. Society has put this idea of what it means to be attractive and pretty. Boys like you always look at girls like me with disgust and assumption.
Oh, shit. You and your group of boys would always come after me for one thing or another. I couldn't escape you in the halls, in class, or my head.
I know your personal life wasn't perfect, hardly from ideal, but using that as an excuse for what you did to me is fucked up.
Students came in with desks around the perimeter of the stage and sit. Josh is still at the edge with Holly at center stage. Chet enters center aisle.
My weight was the brunt of all your jokes, like a sick obsession, really. I'd pass by you in the halls or lunch, and all you could say,
Hey, Holly. I heard they have half a dozen pizzas left from lunch today. Think you could help them finish them off? Did I see you eating an apple earlier? Don't you want to save that for the people who are actually healthy? Do you ever stop eating? Is that even possible for you? What's your favorite item at McDonald's? The whole menu?
Hilarious, Chet. Chet circles back to his group of friends, stage left. Cal and Nick, there's a space left open, like there should be a fourth person with them. Holly unfreezes.
what pisses me off was your obsession over the type of food I supposedly ate. And the food you harassed me with the most? Twinkies.
Josh finishes his bite of the Twinkie and puts the rest to his side. Holly goes and sits next to her friend, Sam. He's right.
I remember this one time when we were in class in the library. Almost all of your friends were in our class. I was lucky I had one.
Chet, Cal, and Nick began to make noises and comments similar to the above toward Holly. Holly turns away and tries to ignore them. Her facial expression drops. The boys continue to laugh. People around them watch. No one says a word.
Each day got worse, and my patience was running thin.
But I didn't know how to stand up for myself. Any ounce of confidence I had disappeared with each word you and your friend said. My distrust of men started with you four.
Wait, 4? Who's the other 3?
It was the end of the day on Friday, and the bell was going to ring soon. All of us stood at the door waiting. I was standing towards the middle front of the doorway, on one side where you and your friends sit on the other side.
I was just waiting, praying to get out of the school alive before any more insults were hurled my way.
That Cal and Nick, a space left open for the fourth person, stand across from Holly.
Hey, Holly, you hungry?
Wishful thinking you'd leave me alone.
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Come on, you gotta get that blubber up for winter, right?
Leave her alone, guys.
Stay out of it. How about a Twinkie?
Cal pulls a Twinkie out of Chet's bag and reaches his hand out to give it to Holly. She clearly declines.
No.
Take it, save it for later.
Yeah, your second lunch is probably due in 30 minutes, right?
The boys share a laugh. Holly rolls her eyes and her face is showing defeat.
I don't like Twinkies. They're disgusting.
A girl like you doesn't like Twinkies? That's a fat lie.
I rolled my eyes and took the cake from your friend. But you kept insinuating that I eat it. You and your friends wouldn't shut up.
You know you want it. Just take the Twinkie, blubber.
My blood was boiling. No should have been enough. Sadly, it wasn't. So I did what I wanted to do for a very long time.
Holly looks down at the Twinkie package as Chet, Cal, and Nick continue their comments. Holly opens the package, cake in hand, and smashes them in Chet's face. It's all over his face, glasses and shirt. You're right. Got it.
Here, here, you have it.
Holly and Sam exit toward the center aisle. Sam exits fully. Holly looks back.
That's all I remember saying. Just as the bell began to ring, all you could say,
You bitch! You'll regret that, Holly.
I'm pretty sure I don't.
Ash stands up.
you just wouldn't stop.
How can someone be happy when they're fat? You're so unhealthy. It's disgusting.
Which one is it, Chet? Should I eat a Twinkie to fluff off my blubber, or not eat so I don't stay fat? You can't have it both ways, Chet.
Chet, Cal, and Nick exit center stage past Holly. Holly walks back towards center stage.
After years of you and your friends' comments running through my mind and in my bones, I've stopped listening to them. It took a long time to do that. Something you'll never have to go through.
There's a lot of hate in this world. Homophobia, racism, fatphobia.
You fed into fatphobia for as long as I've known you. I don't think that part of you will ever change. Unless you somehow learn to see the world the way it truly is. Different colors and sizes and shapes. We're not all shipped here in the same package. We're different. And that's a good thing.
That's something you can't learn in a letter. You have to take a good look inside yourself and realize the changes that need to be made.
No one can do it for you. Sincerely.
Holly looks towards Josh, who's holding a letter and feeling the words on the page for the first time. He looks up and shares a look with Holly's shadow. He hasn't figured out who it is, but he's seeing someone for the first time reading the letters. Holly walks past Josh as she exits stage right. Josh stands up thinking. He pulls out his phone and he makes a call.
Hey, Cal. Yeah, I've decided to come to the party after all.
Act 1, Scene 6, Tyler's house, the party. Music is playing. Everyone is dancing, drinking, and talking. We see Becca, Brad, Mark, Brittany, Chet, Nick, and Cal, and the whole gang in their respective groups dispersed around the stage. Josh enters center stage aisle hesitant. He walks up to Chet, Nick, and Cal. They share a bro hug, whatever that is.
What's up, man? I didn't think you'd actually show.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
Dude, I'm so glad you're here. Want a beer?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
So what's up with Becca tonight? She's been in the corner all night just being all mopey and shit.
Well, hell if I know. She never tells me what's wrong with her.
You didn't read those letters, did you?
Josh and Cal share a look. Josh nods his head up and down.
What the fuck, Josh? We told you not to. They're not worth your time.
I could not read them. I mean, they talked about some serious shit. I mean, Cal, especially the people in this room.
They're no big deal, Josh. Why are you wasting your time?
What if they're not? I mean, what if someone actually needs help?
If they needed help so badly, why are they writing letters?
I don't know.
If you ask me, it's pretty dramatic.
Josh's breathing begins to become heavy. Cal pushes him back toward Chet and Nick. Josh is uncomfortable.
I think coming here was a bad idea.
Just got here, Josh.
I just need to go.
Josh begins to walk away.
What is up with you tonight?
I don't know. I don't know what's up with you being a dick to everyone.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, think about it. Use that brain of yours for once.
Josh walks away, bumping into Becca center stage.
Hi, baby. I've missed you.
Hi, Becca. Look, I think we need to talk.
Josh brings Becca into the two chairs downstage. She is still trying to be all over him, but Josh is even more uncomfortable.
Look, I don't think this is working out anymore.
What do you mean?
We haven't been doing well these last couple months. I mean, we're always fighting. We're always yelling at each other. I'm just tired of it.
We're always fighting because you always have something to say about someone. I mean, I can say some pretty mean things about people, but like, we can change that.
I don't think you can, Becca.
What's that supposed to mean?
You're mean, Becca. And if people aren't like you, I mean, they're not worth your time. That's not right. I don't want to be with someone who has to bring someone down to just get ahead.
And you think you're Mr. Nice Guy? Please, spare me the lecture, Josh. Don't worry. We're done.
I am a nice guy, Becca, and I can tell right from wrong.
Oh yeah, and you suppose I can't?
Did you really rip up a girl's shirt because it was the same as yours?
How do you know about that?
I'll see you around, Becca.
Becca is left sitting while Josh runs back in. He's got a look on his face.
Dude, what the hell is going on with you? Mark just told me you tried to fight Brad before the party. What did you say to Becca? She just tweeted about you again.
A lot of people have done some fucked up shit, Cal, right? Those letters just...
Who cares about the letters, dude? Why are you even reading them?
The person wrote one about Chet.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
He's our best friend. What did it say?
Nothing.
Josh, you can tell me. What did it say?
This one time in the library, this girl squished a Twinkie in Chet's face because he kept making jokes about her Wade, I guess.
You mean that bitch Howard? You don't remember that?
Wait, Holly.
You were there, Josh. You were Chet's right-hand man.
Holly wrote the letters?
As his hyperventilating begins to pick up.
You okay?
No, I need to get out of here.
Josh and Kale head to the exit, but stopped by Chet.
Sorry, I lost my place. What was
It's okay. Page 49.
Oh, okay. Sorry. What the hell is your issue tonight? Are you having a bad trip or something?
You're a dick.
And you're not?
Look, I don't make fun of women and their size.
You do, Josh. If they're not a size 2, they're not worth my time.
Why do girls skin jiggle? Isn't that against science?
Who would want to fuck someone who has fat rolls?
I never said any of that.
You are the worst liar, Josh. Yes, you have.
Let's get out in one piece.
Why did you say that I said that shit when you're the one who always makes whale noises to fat girls?
Because you're the one who always starts it. And we've all said some fucked up shit. But at least we own that.
Seriously, let's leave now.
You're a piece of shit, Crane.
Josh punches Chet in the face. They begin to fight. Everyone gathers around to watch. Some are taking pictures, some are taking videos. Kale and Nick try to pull Josh and Chet off of each other. Josh gives Chet one final blow before Kale is about to get off. Kat is able to get Josh off of Chet.
Hide the truth forever, Josh.
Fuck you, Chet.
Josh and Kale exit center stage while Nick helps Chet off the ground.
What are you all looking at?
Everyone disperses around the stage. Act 1, Scene 7, the street. Josh and Kale enter stage right with Josh touching the spot where Chet punched him. He's walking with a limp and Kale is yelling at him while they come on stage.
Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why the hell did you start a fight with one of your best friends?
He started it.
I find that hard to believe when you threw the first punch.
He didn't have to punch back. He should have just walked away.
This is the reason why I told you not to read those letters. You're acting like a fucking crazy person.
What was I supposed to do, Chet? Ignore them? Let them sit in my room and collect dust?
They're nothing, Josh. Holly is just seeking attention like she always does.
I mean, how do we know it's Holly? How are you even sure?
Because she smashed that Twinkie in Chet's face. How do you not remember that? I mean, I couldn't care less about her, but you never stop with her. You always have something to say to her.
Josh sits down on the bench off center stage, still touching the spot where he was punched. Cal collects himself and joins Josh.
Maybe there is a reason why she gave you the letters. How many do you have left?
Josh takes his backpack off, taking the box of letters out. He ruffles through the one he's already read.
Looks like 2.
Okay, let's read them.
What?
You heard me. We're reading them together.
Look, I'd rather read them alone.
If you were acting the way you are, I'd be smoking the huge ass joint I made for the party and getting trashed. But here I am with you. So yeah, I'm not happy either, bud.
Fine.
Where do you want to read them?
I don't fucking know, man.
I know of a place.
Where?
Just follow me. I got an idea.
Fine, just lead the way.
Josh and Cal exit stage left. Holly enters the stage right. Her backpack is in tow. Her hair is messy. Her makeup is running. It's been a long few days. She stops and sits where she is, taking out a pen and notebook.
Dear Holly, what are you even doing? Trying to run away. No one even cares where you go or what you do. You're nothing here. Everyone would rather have you dead than alive. That's the exact reason why you're running away. You long to be a someone, to feel, be alive. I don't know why everyone hates you or feels the need to say that to your face instead of keeping their comments to themselves. And those who don't even say anything, they don't even stop the ones who do. Why is that? I don't know either. Hang in there, Haas. I know it's hard. Every day is hard in your shoes. You're enough, Holly. You know that, even if you don't believe it. Go to your favorite spot. You know it will make you feel better.
Holly closes her notebook and begins to cry. She's so tired of trying. She hears a voice and perks up. Chet is walking down the street. Holly tries to adjust her appearance. Chet enters with Nick, and the three of them share a look.
I'm going. Sorry.
You're fine. We're just passing by.
Okay. Are you okay?
Why do you care?
Sorry, I didn't mean to ask.
Nick passed by before stopping and looking back to Holly. She's trying not to cry in front of the guys.
Hey, Holly.
Holly looks up, pushing tears away.
I'm sorry for anything I said to you. It was wrong of me. And I'm gonna stop. Seriously, Holly. I'm really sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It means more than you know. But to be honest, your apology is not the one I need to hear right now.
Chet nods his head, friendly. They share a look before Chet and Nick exit. Holly continues to sit and gather herself. She grabs her phone out of her pocket and makes a call.
Hi. Yes, quick cab? Can I get a ride to?
Let's go out. End of Act 1. Okay. Let's take a second to decompress from that.
So that was really good. It's so
Thank
nice
you
to
guys.
hear it with all of the voices and not just me and Ellen reading them back and forth.
Yeah, it does help, doesn't it?
It does.
So one thing I'll start off by saying is I really like the format that you chose to write this in. Not just the flashback, but the way that all of the characters are they're always on stage. There's always going to be somebody that's watching the action happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that can be really, really powerful. This is just, I should have seen this earlier, but I'm thinking because you do that, again, it would be really, really powerful in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that, and after saying that, some of the dialogue could be a little less, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. I wrote that too.
It's a show don't tell thing. I think we already talked about that a little bit, but it's really hard to like dig yourself out of that. Like
I wrote that multiple times. I'm like, this could be shorter.
Yeah, and not necessarily shorter, but more of a, instead of saying something like, I was a bad person, I am saying sorry now. More of like a thing that they could, that Chet could maybe do to her. No, but I do kind of like that he literally does apologize to her. So maybe that's not a good example. There's a lot of times where it's very reflective, like, I don't know why you did X, which we as the audience can see that. We don't know why a bad person did something bad to the character. So just, can someone add to that so I'm not just talking a lot with no end in sight, or have something else.
Yeah.
Do you want to just give feedback?
Yeah,
Thoughts?
why don't we use, because there's so many people, why don't we use this handy dandy like hands up, raise hand thing in Zoom? I don't know, figure it out. Yes, Maylin.
Bouncing off of that, I have two ideas, but bouncing off of Alan's idea, I think with having so much reflectiveness, in some ways it works. I think it works really well in the beginning as you're gaining audience sympathy, but as we support her and see her view, I think getting less would help us still gain that sympathy and that momentum to still side with her versus being passive in some of the later stuff as the intention, the action builds a little bit. And then also, I think it'd also be interesting. She mentioned she had one friend, Sam. I think it'd be cool, maybe just a small, like, oh, I thought about writing a letter, but didn't because words or something she did for me meant a lot more than what they did to me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If we saw Sam more, that would be really nice. Like, I know that that's the story about like bullying, but like, it is more realistic to have somebody like, you know, you did have at least one friend.
Yeah.
You, I'm saying you because you wrote it. I do this all the time. Holly, Ruth. Ruth's character Holly has your friend, that one friend. My God, I should not have asked to put characters' names on here. Chat. You're new, so I can't remember. Can you remind me of your name when you open it up?
My name is Dalton.
Dalton. Okay.
Yeah. I agree with what everyone else has said, and I want to say that, like, you know, what you said at the beginning about how you've watched the first season of 13 Reasons Why 3 times because of all the problems in it. Like, I've only seen it once, but I remember all the problems I had with it, and I can definitely see, like, with your play that it in certain ways I can tell how it feels like a response to 13 Reasons Why and its problems, and I think that works really well. I think kind of you take this sort of element of Hannah's, like, you know, messages to all the people who wronged her, and you take that, and I think you use it a lot better than that show does, and so I really love that. And yeah, and so I really like that aspect, and I would just say the other side of that is that you know, since there's Reasons Why is a TV show, I feel like you know, the structure is kind of that sort of letter structure is very episodic. And I feel like some of the episodic aspect of it is kind of remaining in the play. Like, you know, it's kind of like this situation, this situation, this situation. And I like the structure, but I think just like a possible way to make it feel more cohesive is like a play and not a TV show.
Yeah.
Like just kind of showing more so the connections and the progressions throughout each situation, so that it keeps the audience engaged more, as like, okay, like I'm kind of seeing one plot develop instead of a bunch of little stories. But I do really like the sort of 13 Reasons Why inspired like list of people. I think that works really well.
Mandy / oh my God, Aiden? Yeah.
Yeah, got
yes.
it. Got it.
You did it.
Yeah. Awesome. Hi guys. So I agree with what Dalton said. I was thinking it would almost be very interesting to see it filmed, maybe not like as a TV show, but just to see it in that medium, because it's inspired by something that a lot of people know. It would be very interesting to see how it translated in that way. I also, one of my favorite things, little nuances from this, is how, and I saw it in the chat, in the places where Holly and Josh have overlapping lines, they respond, like the lines apply to Josh's situation. Like, there are a lot of places where Josh is like, why do you care? Like, I don't think you're ever going to change. And they say that at the same time. And even though it's about someone else's situation, it applies to Josh, which I just find really cool. I also love the staging with everyone on stage at once, like we were talking about at the beginning, because when we talk about bullying and bullying prevention and education in schools and stuff, like, it's always the idea of a bystander. And so having everyone on stage at one time really feels like someone's here, someone could intervene, someone could stop this. And why don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have a lot of thoughts about Josh as a character, because he's very insistent with like, I'm a good person. And obviously, as the play advances, we learn that to be not the truth, or at least questionable. So I like the idea that he's like pulling the wool over the audience's eyes, but also over his own eyes, and that denial. It's very, very interesting.
My thing is like, is he really so dumb that like he just didn't remember, like he couldn't figure out who wrote the letters? Like, maybe I'm just like, why are you so stupid? But I was never a teenage boy, so I can't really answer that. Just kidding, guys. So Derry says, I like the line, you never stopped, I just stopped reacting, which I agree. I love that too. I could feel Josh's tension as his good person perception is changing. Yeah, I get that too.
Wait for that too.
Brad, not Brad.
Noah. Yeah, I also really liked Josh's character. In a way, he's sort of an unreliable narrator, which is always something really cool because, you know, from the audience's perspective, for most of the play, he's maybe the hero, but no. I would have liked to see some, because you're really good at creating convincing characters, but I feel like some of the more minor characters were a little bit underdeveloped, and obviously they're minor, so it's difficult to do. But I would have liked to see them fleshed out a little bit more.
Yeah, something that's hard to do is like when you don't like a character, you don't want to write anything more about them. You're like, this character is a bad person, so I don't want to make them a person. But like sometimes you have to do that, so it's a little hard. Something I was thinking about when Aiden was talking was I'm wondering if this would really work well as like a web series instead of a play. Like it works as a play because there's a lot of people on stage at one time, but that episodic thing, like Dalton was saying too, that might be interesting. Like each episode, each little mini thing is the next letter, and then you could pull in teachers, you could pull in because I'd love to hear from some of these teachers who are just very not paying attention, clearly not paying attention. Yeah, I don't know, think about that I would like to produce. That would be something that I would be passionate about producing, and that would be really good because it could, like, again, it could be educational, it could be something we could share with like local schools. I don't know, just spitballing here. Does anybody have anything else before I have like one more thing, if that's okay? 1.5 more things. That would give the characters backstories. Yeah, Derek.
Yeah, because now that like I'm hearing it, like especially when Brittany, I'm just like how you did it, Julie, was just genius. I'm like, I want to write more for her. I want to develop her more. And the same with like Brad and Chet. Like Chet we see a lot of, but that
also those moments where you've got like the same person that, you know, is told a bunch of different things at once, like those like line by line, they could be like an echoey, like, why didn't you ever do this, like, if you're not going to care now, when will you, or like all those comments about weight, they could be like you're hearing that over and over again in your head. So we could do something fun with that.
Can I add something?
Yes,
this
please.
kind of actually popped in my head. Did anyone see the movie Wonder with Julia Roberts, or not Julia? Was it Julia Roberts?
I think so, with the little kid.
Yeah, with the little kid. That's what the premise of that film. That's what I'm kind of reading off from this, is that it's really all intermittently connected through this one particular person, and that the way you're able to see, even for like the other characters, are the reasons why they're behaving a certain way, what their behavior is. Like the little boy's sister's like best friend, we get to discover a little bit more about her because she was very close with his sister, but she feels more closely connected to the son or to the brother instead of the sister. And it wasn't really explored so much in dialogue, but you could see it through visually and the way that it could be seen. So I could see that as part of that like limited series, or that web series that Ellen had mentioned.
And that's just something that's exploded lately too, like at just a limited series like Disney's doing all the Marvel ones. Maybe we're just in like a short attention span land at this point. I'm not sure. Aiden Mandy. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, something else I found really interesting that I forgot to mention is that Holly and Josh are characters that have so little in common and such different backgrounds that I think like almost on a societal level that's an interesting thing to explore, him getting to experience Holly's experience and how we see that through his eyes and where he's coming from. I think that's something like on a social level that would be really important that we need to explore.
Yeah, for sure. I wrote down, let the audience say, oh shit, don't have Josh say it.
Okay.
You want to let them go, what the fuck did they just call her? You know, like you want to have them have that reaction or whatever. So there's that. And then there's like, just making sure that all the characters are named correctly. That's an obvious like edit thing. And then you use the word obsess and obsession a lot, so maybe we can find some synonyms or some, you know, different ways to come at those certain lines. But that's all I have right now. And honestly, there's a little bit more to go, and it gets a little more dramatic from here. So, does anybody have any fun things to say before we turn it up?
I'm sorry that the next act is really sad and really intense.
Okay. Well,
not be sorry. We'll all be sorry.
we'll all be fine. Also, yeah, Heather got kicked out, and my chat was covering the waiting room, so I didn't know how to let her in because I didn't see she was waiting there.
The most terrifying thing I've ever experienced.
Oh, God. Holy shit. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Twinkie scene is still the best thing I've ever. That's the best thing ever. I love it so much.
Actually happened. Regret nothing.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Good.
I love that you wrote in there like you lost your shit. You were like, I've had it and I will not cry. I will smush this thing right in your face and run away. So more people need to do that. Yes. Smushing some Twinkies. Okay. Yes. Alrighty. Back to it. All right, so we are on the beach. Act 2, Scene 1. Josh and Cal are sitting toward the edge of the stage. Ocean waves can be heard in the background. Cal has his joint in one hand, of course. Josh holds the box of Holly's letters in his lap. He is agitated. Cal is chill.
You really didn't have to bring me here.
Well, you couldn't chill at the party. So I'm taking you to your favorite place.
The beach is your favorite place, Cal.
Wait, it is? Are you sure?
Oh my God. I can read these by myself and I don't need you here.
Yeah, you do.
No, I'm not reading the rest until you leave.
But if I leave, who's gonna let you know about all the shit that's going down?
What are you talking about?
A video of the fight you and Chet had is now up to 2,000 views on Instagram. Tyler's tweet on how you're banned from all his future parties, effective immediately, has 500 likes. Oh, I also forgot to add that BECCA dragging your ass in a 5-part series on TikTok is about to just hit 10,000 likes. Do I need to go on?
No.
So let's forget the shit show that happened tonight and let's open the next one.
I don't want to.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Ellen. I don't want to.
What do you mean you don't want to?
You're right. They're nothing. Just a cry for help.
If they're nothing, then why did you even start reading them?
I don't know. It's curiosity.
Josh, you've read 4 letters so far. Why stop now?
Okay, fine.
Josh takes the box back and slowly opens it. He moves the red letters to get to the new ones. Josh pulls out a green envelope, placing the box between him and Cal. Cal takes another drag.
A letter to Mandy.
Which one?
I guess we're about to find out.
Josh opens the green envelope with 2 pages, the first of any of the letters. Oh dear.
Start reading, Josh.
Actor scene 2, bedrooms, beach. The stage fills with the ensemble on either smartphones, computers, or tablets. Holly is sitting at a desk off center with her laptop. Mandy's desk is on the opposite side of the stage, adjacent to Holly's. Josh and Cal are still sitting at the edge of the stage.
Dear Mandy, I'm going to start this letter off by saying that I don't hate you. I never hated you. I've always admired you, to be honest. I just wish that a part of you stood up for me. I just wish that the part of you that stood up for me didn't have a but before it.
Okay, this is going to be worse than I thought.
She'll get into it in a minute. Just trust me.
At this point, every day was an uphill climb. Someone always had something to say towards me, about me, or physically had to show that they had power over me.
Oh my God, did you see how much she ate during lunch date? Like, does she ever stop? If I ever acted and carried myself the way she did, my parents would disown me. Even if I slapped the ugly out of her, she'd still be the ugliest person on the planet. She'd be like that movie, the 40-Year-Old Virgin, because no one will ever want to be with her. I actually feel bad for her.
I was getting back to the point that even waking up in the morning was becoming too much.
But I still had to face the day.
Social media was our class's favorite pastime. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, even Tumblr. You name it, they were on it.
I was on a few apps. Somehow I had friends online with most of the people who made fun of me. You being one of them.
God damn, this is taking forever to get to the point.
You decided to read these letters with me.
I thought it would go faster than this. Like, damn.
This is just getting good.
In school, you never picked on me for something new. It was either about my weight, my looks, the general assumptions. You would just add fuel to the fire.
Mandy enters stage right with her laptop in hand and her phone at her ear. She walks to her desk.
Like, I don't get why she doesn't wash her face. Does she like being disgusting? If you don't lose weight, you're gonna die young. Girl, her ass takes too much space up in the chairs in class. Like, I gag every time.
Every comment by every person dug deeper into my skin. It was only a matter of time before I'd break. A lot of people had hurt me and have said horrible things towards me. Part of me wants to believe they really didn't mean it. But the worst was when someone made a fake Tumblr account of me, making fun of me.
Oh, shit. Do you remember this? When it circulated around school?
Josh and Cal both look down at the letter, continuing to read.
It was junior year, a Friday night. I was alone in my room, like usual. Then Sam called me.
Sam stands up where she is. She's on her cell phone. She calls Holly. She's at a loss of words for herself, I'm sure. Holly picks up.
Hey, Sam, what's up?
Holly, have you been on Tumblr at all today?
No. Why?
I would avoid it tonight if I were you.
Why?
Trust me, Holly. Just stay off Tumblr tonight.
Sam, what's going on? What do you know?
Are you sure you want to know?
Yes, tell me.
Let me send it to you. Sam types down on her phone. Holly looks at her computer and her whole expression changes. Holly begins to cry, a breakdown. I'm so sorry, Holly. Her cries grow slightly louder. Sam hangs up the phone, devastated herself.
Design was all Twinkie related, and the about me section was all about how I love being fat and how I love eating Twinkies. It said I was ugly and no one would ever want to date this ugly fat girl.
Holly's cries stayed down, still, tears still streaming.
Crushed me to my core. I never thought it could get any worse.
The comments were filling up on an unflattering photo of me from a school trip where we took a few months prior.
Holly shifts her body out toward the audience.
I was in all black. I wore a black and white polka dot headband. The comments people left were brutal. You eventually became one of them, but not in the way I expected.
I remember crying in my computer as I scrolled through the comments.
People were so mean.
Your comment came up as the most recent.
Look, I don't like her at all, but she doesn't deserve this. This crosses a line.
I was shocked. I never thought anyone would ever stick up for me. Ever. Because here's the thing. When you're hated by every single person who knows your name, escaping their words is impossible. And there's nothing you can do to change their minds.
I thought I was on the road to becoming someone new.
Someone who wasn't hated.
I thought I was getting to the point. But that fake Tumblr account proved that I would always be the laughingstock of the entire school.
Holly closes her laptop screen. Her tears come back stronger.
I'm past the point of no return. Nothing I do will ever change your opinion of me. To think that Tumblr account wasn't even the tip of the iceberg.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just keep reading.
I wish you stood up for me without negativity attached. Your words could have made a change. Your words could have stopped people from making fun of me.
You made the choice to give something half-hearted. That comment opened the floodgates to even more hateful and mean comments.
Both of us know I didn't deserve that. I wish. I wish that people weren't so mean. That I could live a life and not worry about every face that I pass and wonder what they're thinking of me. I wish you were the change and saving grace I needed in that moment. Sincerely.
Cal closes the letter, throws it to the ground. A rush of anger comes over him. He begins to hyperventilate again. Cal picks up the letter, confused by Josh's reaction.
We're done reading these letters.
What is up with you? You were fine 2 minutes ago. None of these letters are about you.
Why the fuck do I have them? What is the point of this? Why do I have to read these letters?
Because people have done some messed up shit, and the only way for her to get peace is to call them out on.
Then maybe you should be reading them instead of me.
Josh, I admit I said some shit towards Holly. I don't like her myself, but the shit she's gone through is wrong. The way people treat her is wrong. You're in that group who's done that shit. That's wrong.
I haven't done anything to her.
I think you should reevaluate that thought because you have. I've seen it and I've heard it.
I don't remember any time I've been mean towards Holly. I mean, that's even if these letters are hers.
Get your head out of your ass, Josh. Own up to what you've done to her.
Mandy enters with an ice cream cone in hand with her headphones in. She has on a work uniform of some sort. She stops in her tracks to take note of the argument.
You guys fine?
No.
No.
Okay then. Good luck figuring it out.
Mandy walks the exit. Josh stops her.
Wait, Mandy. Can I ask you something?
Mandy turns around, takes another bite of her ice cream cone, and takes out an earbud.
What's your opinion on Holly?
I mean, she could use a makeover and some tips on social cues, but she's not the worst thing in this world.
Then why did you write that comment on that fake Tumblr?
Oh. Okay, she's not my favorite person at school or like on this planet, but the way people treat her, it's not right. But I can't stand up for her fully. Then people will think I actually like her.
You're one of the only people at school who doesn't care about what people think. If you really don't care, why not do what's right?
I don't know, Josh. Instead of asking me why I won't stand up for Holly, I'd suggest taking a look at yourself and thinking about all the fucked up shit you've done to her.
Why do people keep saying I've done something to Holly? I've done nothing to her.
If you've done nothing, then why are you the next letter in the box?
Josh and Mandy look toward Cal. He holds the box in one hand with Josh's letter in another. That's black with silver lettering.
I need to go. And Josh, fuck off.
Mandy exits off stage. Josh walks toward Cal to take the letter. Cal backs away with it.
Give me the letter.
No, you'll rip it up if I do.
We aren't reading it.
If you won't read it, I'll read it for you. It'll be like story time in kindergarten.
To think you didn't even want to read these letters in the first place.
That was until I realized what they are about. You deserve to be put in your place for once in your life.
I hate you, Cal. I hate you so much.
Sit down. Sit down.
No.
Sit down.
Fuck you, Cal.
Josh, sit your ass down and just listen to the goddamn letter.
Josh and Cal share a moment. Josh reluctantly sits down toward the edge of the stage, a foot away from Cal. Cal opens the letter.
You wanted to know why you got these letters in the first place. Time to learn that reason.
Josh rolls his eyes and pays no attention to Cal. Slow fade out to black. Act 2, Scene 3, lights fade up on Holly and Josh center stage with their backs toward each other. Cal is sitting on the edge of the stage with Holly's letter. The entire company is scattered across the stage and the house.
Dear Josh, I've been dreading writing this letter, mostly because I don't think a letter can fit everything you've said, done, or have made me feel these last some odd years.
Where do I even begin? I guess I'll start at the beginning.
When I first saw you, I thought you were the cutest guy in school. Not preppy, not one of the jocks, just one of the cute guys. I had a crush on you, a huge crush.
When my feelings grew stronger, the bullying got worse. And before I knew it, you were leader of the pack.
Holly and Josh counter each other to opposite sides of the stage.
I couldn't escape you or your words, but I still really liked you for some reason. I'm still not sure why.
Holly and Josh walk the stage toward their friend groups. He gives her a stare as they pass each other.
Just one passing glance would piss you off.
I don't understand why.
Every single time you'd stare back at me, swaying your head back and forth with this look, puckered lips and a stare that could kill.
Holly and Josh exchange exactly what's above. We see Josh mouth no while shaking his head.
You'd have freakouts, even as I turned my head to look at one of my friends at the lunch table. You'd be staring at me just as much as I, admittedly, looked at you. You're guilty too. And I always felt your stare on me. It didn't matter what I was doing or not doing. You always had your eyes on me. Why?
Dude, why? Growing up, girls are taught that if a boy is mean to you, that means he likes you.
Well, you either really liked me or you really hated my guts. And the devil inside you had to let me know that.
Josh never takes his eyes off Holly, like a predator.
The stares were just the start of a long, exhausting, and painful encounters that would inevitably change me forever.
The stage begins to change into a computer lab. 2 students per table, partners. Josh and Holly pair back up with the table, 2 chairs, they are center stage. The ensemble semicircles around them.
There was this one time in our computer class where we were forced to be partners for multiple projects. I've learned to manage working with people who don't like me. You had an uproar. I was the worst thing in your eyes, especially inches away from one another. You never let me forget it. Instead of trying to work amicably,
Holly reaches her hand for the computer mouse and starts doing work on the computer.
What are you doing?
if we shortcut it in this way, it might work better.
Just let me do it. We can split the credit. Just let me do it.
I can do it. Let me help.
Josh continues to do work on the computer, ignoring Holly.
Josh, let me help, please. I think.
Would you just shut the fuck up for 1 minute? You are such a fucking idiot.
The ensemble and Josh take their computers, desks, and chairs off stage. Holly remains sitting center stage, lost for words.
I learned silence would soon be my best friend.
There was another time at one of the homecoming dances. I was starting to spiral in my own depression and anxiety.
That's what happens when people's words and actions don't stop and you start believing everything they say.
I am going to kick your ass, Josh, by the time I'm done reading this letter. I swear to God.
Pop music can be heard like at a high school dance. The ensemble comes back on stage, dancing, talking, drinking, each character with their respected group of friends.
Anyway, I was with a small group of friends, select few that actually tolerated me. We were dancing, enjoying the music. I was trying to find happiness in the darkness.
Of course, you couldn't miss your opportunity to get your fix and making fun of me. Of fucking course.
We were acting like fools, laughing, having fun, like people usually do at a dance.
You couldn't help but mimic and mock the way I was dancing to your friends, but you were the only one doing it.
You always thought you were the funniest guy in the room. It's not funny if you're the only one laughing.
As Josh continues to mimic Holly's dancing, her dancing dies down. The mimicking does not.
I don't even know how much time passed. I felt the stares, and when I looked back to confront you from a distance, I got that same puckered and pissed off look.
When I couldn't take it anymore, I finally gained the courage to walk over to you and say something.
Holly leaves her friends, crossing toward Josh and his friends, where he's still dancing obnoxiously.
Can I talk to you?
Josh continues to dance, ignoring Holly as his friends continue to dance themselves, but not obnoxiously. Holly grabs his shirt, dragging them both downstage, away from others.
Don't you fucking touch me.
Then stop making fun of me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was just dancing.
You're making fun of me with all your friends while I'm just dancing with my friends, minding my own business. What's so funny anyway?
Nothing. I just think that fat girls shouldn't be dancing at all. It's disgusting and unattractive.
Holly just stands in humiliation. Josh walks away, laughing.
That was the first time I felt myself shut down. I thought,
Why should I try anymore?
I've said it before, but in that moment, I felt it in my bones. Because what's the point of trying to defend and stand up for yourself when people are just gonna shut you down anyway?
The music dies down and the ensemble exits and re-enters with book bags and school books. Ensemble members put the props on Holly and Josh.
You knew how to hurt me. You knew how to push my buttons and get me going. You knew exactly what to do. But the worst was right around the corner.
Josh, what the fuck did you do?
I remember it was after school, and I had to stay after to complete a test. And I was at my locker grabbing schoolwork I knew I wasn't going to do when I got home. And here you come down the hall with your usual group.
Josh, Chet, and Nick walk down the hall, leaving room for an extra body. They're talking.
I stared into my locker until you four passed by. I held my breath and I closed my eyes and I prayed that just maybe nothing would happen. But then I heard the well noises.
Engage in making whale noises and making degrading comments toward Holly, Josh standing out from the rest.
As hard as you try, you're never able to fully drown out the words bullies say around you.
My chest started to hurt.
You walked away, continuing to make well noises and shouting inaudible comments, and I burst.
Holly slams her locker.
Josh.
Josh, Chet, and Nick all turn around back to Holly. Holly and Josh share a look.
I need to talk to you.
Josh, Chet, and Nick share an exchange before the three of them start leaving.
I'll catch up with you guys later. So, what do you want to talk about?
Can you stop, please?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Josh, you always have something to say to me. The comments, the noises, I've done nothing to you.
Wow. Holly, you're a pathological liar. I've told you not to look at me and you keep doing it anyway. If you just stopped looking at me, I wouldn't do anything for you.
I haven't looked at you. I've done nothing to you, Josh. We have none of the same classes. We don't pass each other in the halls. We don't see each other at all.
You're going around in circles, Holly. You are the most pathetic person I know. No wonder no one likes you.
And you think I deserve all that people have done to me? What people have said and done to me? To my face and online?
Yeah, I do. You're a hungry, fat piece of shit. No one likes you. No one ever wants to be your friend, especially me.
My bottom lip began to twitch. And before I knew it, I did what I've wanted to do since our first encounter.
Josh begins to walk away before Holly grabs him and slaps him across the face. Holly is fearful. Josh sees red. Josh pushes Holly up against the lockers, holding under her shirt, ramming his leg in between hers so she cannot move.
You are nothing to me, Holly. You will always be nothing. You're worth more dead than you are alive. And everyone knows that.
Please, Josh. I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't mean to hit you. I just wanted you to leave me alone. Please, please.
Josh pushes Holly back further back into the locker and laughs.
No one will ever want to be with you. No man wants to fuck a fat ass whale like you. Just fucking kill yourself already and just do us all a favor.
Holly goes and she falls to the ground. They share another look before Josh walks away down to exit. Holly's cry is louder and prominent. Her breakdown. Cal throws the letter down. Anger rushes through him. A long beat.
I've never felt so broken by another person's words in my life. People make fun of me. People don't like me. And yeah, I'm not everyone's favorite person, but you, Josh, took it too far.
All right. Everyone's okay. This is acting all. Okay. I lost my spot. Kale picked up the letter, taking a breath before continuing reading.
Your words destroyed every ounce of worth in me because part of me still believes those words you once threatened me with.
Your voice rings through me at the worst of times. I go back to that moment in the hallway.
Helpless.
Hopeless.
Nothing.
Holly slowly brings herself off the ground. Cal wipes a tear off his face.
Your words are like poison. You forced me to drink it, and it has forever changed the way I look at myself. Because who wants to be with a person who is broken as me?
Holly walks downstage behind Cal.
You have caused so much damage and hurt and pain, but you refuse to own up to those words you said to me and the actions you took. The last words I hear at night are yours. All the terror comes back. It's like a nightmare I can't escape.
You are a bully. You're an abuser. You are a mean person who I truly believe doesn't have an ounce of niceness in your body. I look at you and I get scared. I'm writing this letter to you because you've hurt me in the worst possible ways. More so than anyone else's letter you've read before.
But you'll never realize the pain you've caused. You'll go on with your life with no regrets on your shoulders.
No one will know how hard you knocked down an innocent young woman just to make yourself feel better and get a quick laugh.
You'll never share that side of you with anyone. But I know that side of you.
I know your true colors. I know the monster that lurks inside you. I know what you're capable of. I wish I never had to bear witness of such a demon. But memories are forever. I wish I could forgive and forget you. But I never will. You've caused so much damage. I'm changed forever. And the worst part, you never take responsibility for any of your actions or the pain you've caused. Can you even live with yourself knowing the shit you've caused? And you told someone to go kill themselves. How do you even sleep at night?
Holly walks back and exits the stage. Cal is left on a bare stage.
Sincerely, Holly.
Cal folds the letter up and sets it to the side of him. He takes a few deep breaths and wipes the tears down his face. He pulls himself together.
Like Holly, I should have done this a long time ago.
Cal winds up his arm just as the lights black out. Act 2, Scene 4, the beach. Cal is standing diagonally from Josh, who has a cold water bottle to his eye. It's bruised, dark, red, and blue. Josh is laying down downstage. He got knocked out good. Again.
I fucking hate you, Josh.
Funny how you're the one saying that when you punch me in the face.
You deserved it.
I didn't mean what I said.
And why did you say it in the first place?
I thought it would be funny.
Cal and Josh share a look.
You need to apologize to Holly.
Fuck no.
Josh, you told her to kill herself and that everyone would be better off without her. Like, what were you even thinking, man?
Come on, it's not like she's actually going to do it.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Since when did you become old Mr. Nice Guy?
I'm not. But are you really that naive? That stupid? I went along with the bullying and shit because you all couldn't stop. I don't hate Holly. I never have. And I only went along with it to fit in. Now I wish I just left when I had the chance. While you were crying and cursing up a storm, I read through the rest of those letters you didn't want anyone else to read. You want to know why you wouldn't let others see them?
Why?
Because you don't want to expose the truth. You know all those things that happened to Holly. You knew before me reading the last letter that it was Holly. You don't want people to know the truth because you need to keep your perfect image as the nice guy.
Yes, you're exactly right, Josh. I am a nice guy.
God damn it, Josh. You tell an innocent girl who just didn't get the right hand of cards dealt to kill herself? Like it was no big deal? No remorse, no empathy, nothing. Seriously, how the fuck do you live with yourself?
You want my honest answer?
I'd like to know what else I've been asking for the last 5 minutes.
I don't know why.
Josh, you have to know why.
I just see Holly, and all I want to do is I see red with her, Cal, and I don't know why. Her voice, her appearance, her attitude, I get angry just thinking about it.
And you think justifying those feelings with telling her she's better off dead than alive solves those feelings?
In that moment, it did.
You need to make this right, Josh. If not for you, her.
I don't want to. I can't.
Josh, you have to. Josh, did I tell you that I had her?
No.
Well, she was a half sister.
Okay.
We were wicked close. She was 4 years younger than me, and I was her biggest role model. We'd go biking, hiking, and walks together. There was nothing in this world that could break us apart.
Cal, where are you going with this?
She killed herself, Josh. After some boy in her class made fun of her Halloween costume at school. She dressed up as a nurse. My mom found her scrubs and everything. She was legit. But this boy named Christian tore her down, destroyed her entire costume, told her, girls like you end up on the street like your deadbeat mom. 2 days later, she was found in the basement with a bottle of Tylenol and the letter she wrote.
Cal,
Let me finish, Josh. She wrote down everything that happened to her. The costume, the pranks, the time someone put gum in her hair and the school nurse had to cut some hair off, or the time Holly wrote those letters because people burned her, dude. She wrote those letters exactly why my sister did, for someone to listen.
I had no idea, Cal.
How would you know? That's not something I just bring up casually in conversation. Josh, you have to talk to Holly.
I can't, Cal. I don't even know where to start.
Let her decide where it goes.
Okay. Fine.
Good. Let's go.
Where?
To see Holly.
Do you know where she is or something?
Just come on.
Cal and Josh head to the exit. Lights fade out. Act 2, Scene 5, the playground. Holly, run down, exhausted, makeup smeared, sits on top of the slide, holding her notebook in hand. She tries to write something down, but the pen drops to the ground. Cal and Josh enter, not seeing Holly at first.
Why did you bring me here?
Because
Josh and Holly meet eyes. She lays her notebook down beside her. Josh is frozen. Cal slowly backs away.
You knew about this all along?
I'll let you two talk.
Hi.
Josh is sorry.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
What happened to your eye?
Ow. Cal, he punched me in the face.
You probably deserved it.
Why are you at the playground? Aren't you too old for this?
I find comfort here. I come to the top and I just forget about everything. I forget about the people in this place, and for a split second, I forget how cruel the world is.
Come on, doesn't that sound a little dramatic?
You have someone tell you to go fucking kill yourself and then tell me how great life is.
Holly, I didn't mean what I said.
But you still said it. Doesn't matter how you felt. You said it. And in that moment, meant it.
Holly, I was just pissed you wouldn't shut up, okay? You never stopped talking or complaining or throwing a pity party. Like, seriously, get over yourself.
Holly repositions herself to face directly towards Josh.
Josh, answer these questions for me, okay?
Fine.
Has anyone ever made fun of you for how much you weigh?
No.
Has anyone made fun of you for not as well dressed like the other kids in school?
No.
Have you ever walked into a school and have this feeling that every person who looks at you hates you?
Seriously, Holly, you're being ridiculous.
Answer the question, Josh.
No, I haven't.
Have you ever experienced anything that I've gone through in those letters?
No.
Last question. Have you ever wanted to kill yourself so badly because of all the shit that people have done to you and had someone confirm your worst feeling to your face?
No.
Then you don't get to decide how I feel. You have no idea what it's like waking up every day, knowing it's gonna be a bad day. To always think, what shitty thing is someone going to say to me today? Or having to fake it to your family that everything is fine?
Holly, I get it.
I don't think you do.
Holly, seriously, I understand.
Then if you understand, why the fuck did you tell me to go kill myself, Josh? What sick satisfaction does that bring you?
Because life isn't so great for me either. My parents are in the middle of a nasty divorce. My dad doesn't even talk to me anymore. We're moving at the end of the year. You're the easiest person to take it out on.
Am I supposed to forgive you just like that? Because your home life isn't ideal right now?
I thought maybe it would be something we had in common.
We have nothing in common. You're making excuses, Josh. Why is it so damn hard for you to take responsibility for the shit you've said?
I thought maybe you'd understand why
I meant every word in that letter, Josh. You destroyed every ounce of worth I had left. And you think excuses and no apology will make up for the fact that you're a shitty person?
Holly slides down, meeting Josh. Josh still hasn't moved from his spot.
I thought I was here to make amends and maybe have a civil conversation, not to get shit thrown in my face.
I guess you know how it feels now.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I just want you to be honest with me for the first time in your life.
Fine.
Tell me, why me?
Holly sits down next to Josh, not close.
I just don't know, Holly.
And you tell me I talk in circles.
I have nothing else to say.
Well, this was the biggest waste of my time. So if you just want to go, just go.
Holly, please.
Josh grabs Holly's wrist to pull her back. She flinches and retreats herself back. Her eyes begin to well.
Don't you ever touch me.
I'm sorry, Holly.
Holly sits at the entrance of the playground away from Josh. He sits at the bench, holding his hand.
From the moment you began making fun of me, I longed for an apology from you. I thought getting an apology would make me feel better. But you've made it pretty clear tonight that everything I feel about you is true.
Holly, you won't even give me a chance.
I'm
Holly turns
speaking
around.
now.
Okay, Kamala. Sorry. Josh and Holly share a look. Holly has taken control back.
Listen here, Josh. It took a long time, but I'm happy in my skin. I love who I am because every flaw and imperfection, I know you're not used to hearing a fat girl say that, but it's true. I fucking love myself. I've gotten through everything I've experienced in life because my body is strong enough to do it. I take up space in this world, and yeah, it might be a little bit more than most, but I deserve that space. I've earned this space. If you don't like it, that a fat girl loves herself and is no longer looking for approval, Then I guess the trash has taken itself out this time.
Holly walks back up towards the top of the slide. Josh is finally put in his place. He doesn't know what to do.
Holly, seriously,
No, Josh. You can't come back with an apology after I just called you out for not giving one. I don't need it. Quite frankly, I don't want it anymore. Just go.
That's it? You're not even going to give me a chance?
I gave you many chances. You're just too ignorant to take one. Leave me alone.
Holly makes her way back to the top of the slide. She curls up with her blanket and lays down.
That's it. You're just going to run away.
Josh, when someone tells you to go away, you go away. I'll be okay. I've made it out alive before. I'll do it again.
Okay. Bye, Holly.
Holly looks up to Josh one last time.
Bye, Josh.
Josh takes one last look at Holly. She lays motionless. He exits as the lights dim out. Epilogue, outside. A few months later, Josh is seen at a picnic table with schoolwork scattered around. He has headphones in. Cal enters. They exchange a mutual look. Something has changed.
Hey, Cal. Long time no see.
Hey, Josh.
What are you doing here?
I just thought I'd stop by and see how you're doing at this new school. Seems pretty pretentious on the outside.
Yeah, you're telling me. I mean, these uniforms we have to wear are so uncomfortable.
Sounds brutal. Made any friends yet?
Yeah. I have a few people, nothing like I did back home, but it's still early.
Well, I'm glad you're doing okay.
Me too.
Cal steps closer to Josh and pulls a letter out of his pocket. It's red.
I have something for you.
Josh looks up from his paper. He gets that look on his face.
Really? Another one?
She asked me to personally deliver it to you.
Why? She said all she had to say before. What more could she possibly have to say?
Just read it.
Josh takes the letter from Cal, throwing it to the side.
Is that why you came to see me? We haven't talked since that night at Tyler's party.
Because I still hate your fucking guts for what you did to Holly.
I get it. What I said was wrong.
Did you tell that to Holly?
Josh looks down at his schoolwork.
I have to get back home. And college essays aren't going to write themselves.
He turns to leave.
Yeah. Cal,
Yeah?
you ever think we could ever be friends again?
When you own up to your shit, then yeah, we can be friends again. I'll see you around.
Cal exits before Josh can say anything. Josh watches as Cal goes. He looks at the red envelope. He slowly reaches for it, holding it before finally deciding to open it. Josh takes the letter out just as Holly enters. She's put together, looks different. She looks happier, glowing.
Dear Josh, you probably thought that night on the playground would be our last encounter. I thought so too. But I couldn't stop thinking about that night. I kept running through all the things I didn't get to say to you. But then I remembered it wouldn't have mattered. You're someone who's never going to change. But I want to tell you one thing. Thank you. Thank you for showing me the power within me. Thank you for breaking me down just so I could come back stronger. Thank you for teaching me to love my body just the way it is. And if the space I take up makes you uncomfortable, that's your problem, not mine.
Thank you for showing me that an apology with no action is no apology at all.
Most importantly, thank you for giving me this story. I'll teach my children to stay away from people like you. I'll teach them to know their worth so they can stand tall. I'm a survivor because I got through all the shit that should have killed me. I shouldn't be here, but I got a second chance.
You're in my memory forever, and that I can't change. And how I view all that's happened to me is what I can change.
I left. I left that God-forsaken town that I thought I would be stuck in forever. I know what happiness is now. People are kinder here. I don't have to worry about what people think of me with each stare or glance. I can be who I am without judgment. I'm not tense or angry anymore. I finally reached the light. And I am so much better that I'm not around toxicity, especially you.
I hope you change. I hope you find empathy in your heart. But I'm not holding my breath for someone who doesn't want to change.
I hope our paths cross again. And when that moment comes, I won't back down. I won't be the same girl you pinned down in the hall telling her to go kill herself. I'll be the girl who stands up and speaks up. And you won't be ready to have a girl like me tell you like it is, especially the girl you meant to break. I'm unbreakable. I'm unstoppable.
Sincerely, Holly.
This is a letter. He stares, poker face. He doesn't know what to make of it because he doesn't learn. The lights dim out, blackout, end of play. Okay, getting rid of that. Hello.
Hello.
All right.
Well, that was so good.
So, how we doing?
Oh, we're surviving.
Good.
We're doing good.
That last bit reminded me of, and I don't know if it's just because you added more to it or I wasn't thinking, reminds me of They Beat the Girl Out of My Boy, or so they tried. Read that read that monologue and then like read what you wrote, because there's like it's very similar and that's good. I like it. That's a good place to end
I
on.
never even thought of it. I just want to point out Ruth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I just want to say that you brought such a softness to Holly that I mean, I'm very intense as a person, that like when I came from writing these letters and this play, I came from that, but you brought such a softness that I cannot wait to keep trialing that and playing with that, because that's something I never thought she would have.
Yeah.
So I just want to say thank you for that, because it was very good. And
I agree.
such softness to such anger was something I was not expecting to hear. So I just want to point that out. So I wrote that down many times.
Yes.
I think yeah. I mean, I only got to read through it a couple of times because I thought we didn't get it, and then I emailed and was like, hey, do we have it?
I suck, and I forgot to email both David and Holly, the ones with the most amount to read. I didn't give them the script on time. Okay.
But I think, I mean, kind of the softness I think came from the fact that the ending monologue. So to me, like that's kind of where it came from, because it's like she's writing these letters, but I mean, at the end of the play, it kind of shows that like she has let it go. So I feel like that's kind of where a little bit of the softness.
That's the reason why this would really work as an episodic thing, because there's so much time that you're seeing. You're seeing the like really messed up stuff at the beginning and her like really growing and changing. It would really be cool. I will say, instead of saying I'm speaking, because you know you're going to get called out for that in the way that I did, I would change that to something like I'm not finished or something like that. so that you don't get the okay comment like I just gave you. Okay, who has something? I'm not going to talk anymore for a minute. I'll give it a try.
Don't talk.
Anybody have a hand? Heather's writing. I can tell.
Raise your hands.
Oh yeah, or we can just be crazy if you want. Just like start talking. We don't need to be organized.
I sent you all my notes.
I did.
Oh my
I got
goodness.
them. Thanks, girl.
Of course.
Well, I could see Matt's
I'll probably
holding.
have to send notes as well because I have work in the morning. But thank you.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got an early 6 a.m. shift at Starbucks. So
Ew.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a lovely night.
You
Yes,
too.
thank you, Malin. How about we do that? If do we agree that that's a good idea? If anybody has notes, they can email us at buffalotheaterworkshop@gmail.com.
Yes, I'm also gonna say, if you find me on social media,
Yeah.
you can also send it to me there.
Cool. All right. Well, I mean, we're gonna do this again and again and again. May is the playwriting workshop. So if anybody, including you, Zoe, if you want to add your name to the list, I think we're supposed to write a brand new 10-minute play. I think that's the rules. But just email buffalotheaterworkshop@gmail.com. And Maddie is leading that, so it'll be cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this. It was pretty exciting. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Come back.
Yes,
I will.
come back.
Don't worry. I got you.